Hello dear students and welcome back to my channel Learn with Ifra Sheikh. So today in this video we will have a look on Inter first year CEC important. The subject is political science, that is civics. So the paper will be of 100 marks. The time duration is of 3 hours. So your exam paper would be divided into 3 sections. In section A you have to answer 3 questions for 10 marks. In section B, you have to answer 8 questions, each question for 5 marks. So, in section C, you have to answer 15 questions. Each question carries 2 marks. Okay, in such a way, you have 100 marks paper. So, I have given you some important questions for 3 sections and watch this video till the end to know the important tips and tricks how to score good in exam. Do not skip the video. What is sovereignty? Explain its characteristics. Discuss the relationship of political science with history and economics. What do you mean by liberty? What are the safeguards of liberty? What is liberalism? Explain its basic tenets. Explain the structure and functions of legislature. Discuss about judiciary and explain its functions. Define state and discuss its essential features. Write an essay on the basic idea of Gandhiism. Define political science and explain its scope. So wherever I have written this C, these questions will also be important for your section B and section C. So whenever you start to study, always begin with the long answers. What is executive? Explain its functions. So this were all 10 questions, very important for section A. In section B, you need to study distinguish between state and society, state and government. So when you study this difference answers, these are very important as it covers two different concepts, right? So if this question is asked you individually, you will be capable to write. Distinguish between nation and nationality. Describe any three types of justice. Explain the concept of satyagraha. Explain the fundamental duties. How a citizen loses citizenship. What is role of public opinion in democracy? What is Indian secularism? Distinguish between return and return constitution. You also study its merits and demerits. Discuss about the judicial review. Explain main features of presidential form of government. Distinguish between unitary and federal government. Discuss three types of justice. Discuss individualism. Write the features of secular state. Write about source of law. Explain features of rights. Explain essential elements of nationality. Discuss features of secular state. Describe secularism and secular state. See, here you are studying anyhow secular state. Again, you need not to study. When you study secularism over here, the answer for both would be completed. Distinguish between parliamentary and presidential form of government. Explain the reasons for decline, significance of legislature. In section C, you need to study behavioralism, society, rights. So classification of rights you need to study. Define nation. What are the organs of government? What is recall, rule of law, trusteeship, theocratic state, plebiscite, preamble, authority, de jure sovereignty, senate, dual citizenship, House of Lords, moral duties, define indirect democracy, neoliberalism, Marxism, and constitutional law. So do not skip any of the answers. First study the long answer which are of section A, then section B. When you study this book, automatically the answers of section C would be covered. Okay, very few are there which you need to study differently. So what are the important tips? Maintain neatness in your answer sheet. If by mistakenly you have done something wrong, just skip it or strike it off. No need just to put it off like this again and again. Okay. Next, make use of black pen for headings. So whenever you write the headings, for suppose the heading is constitutional law, so you need to write it with black pen. Make use of blue pen for writing the content. Under this, when you write its definition or the context, you need to write it with blue pen. Underline important points. So whatever the important points, side headings you are writing, just underline it. Okay, follow this format. So this is very important format which you need to study and follow. First you need to write the definition, which are said by so and so uh, great personalities in that field. It may be Aristotle. Okay, so his words, you need, you have need not to mention your own words in that. When you write the meaning, you write it in your own words, but when you write definition, follow the same words. Then side heading, and then explanation. Then you must give priority to different answers, difference or distinguish answers. Whenever you have distinguished answers, for suppose you have to write distinguish between unwritten and written constitution, so you will define first written constitution, its definition, then unwritten constitution, its definition. Then you'll write this distinguished thing. First solve the section C. Always go with section C. The 2 marks important, solve it. Then you need to go with section A, and at the last with section B. So your time will also be managed properly. Okay. Draw mind maps wherever it is required. So wherever it is required, wherever there is about classification, draw mind maps. Hope you like this video. Do like, share, subscribe and comment. Thank you.